I am unmuted, so I can speak. Can you hear me?
Let me unmute myself so you can hear me. We got just about a minute left, and people are starting to come in and sit down, and so I'll introduce you in just a minute or so.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so this next session is about Urangi, an open source tool to build reports and dashboards. And the speaker joining us right now is Paul Poulain from Biblibre in France, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Which city are you in France?
I live in Marseille, south of France, on the Mediterranean coast.
And what time is it there?
It's 5:30 p.m.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's
no, it's okay.
9:30 in the morning here, sir. Or is it 10:30 already? I don't know what time it is here, but we're happy to have you. So, and everybody can hear you just fine. So thanks for joining us. And Paul's going to talk now about Urangi.
Okay, and thanks for giving me 45 minutes to present Urangi. Maybe some of you have been at the koha-con in Portland last year. So I presented Urangi to a few people there. I made a more public presentation of Urangi during the koha-con in Dublin a few months ago. And now Urangi is ready for production, I think. Well, we are starting to set it up in production at our customers. So I will start by explaining the concept behind Urangi and then do a quick demo. There is also a demo site. If you want to give it a try later, you can go at this URL, demo-urangi.biblib.com. The login and the password that should work is test and test. Except at the moment it does not work, so don't try it, but tomorrow it should work again. For now, the user and password is supposed to be incorrect. Okay, so I am doing a demo on a URL that is non-public. I use this URL to test new features. The good news here is that I will show you some very, very new features, even some that are not really ready. The demo site is the stable version of Urangi, and this URL that is private for Biblibre is where I test new feature and we validate and we test new features. Okay. Oh, I see you. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for moving the camera. It's much better to see who is looking at the screen. So Urangi is a tool dedicated to building dashboard and reports. It is not dedicated to Koha. It is dedicated to any kind of software. Before doing report or dashboard for a software, you have some things to prepare. And once it is done, it is very, very easy to do dashboard and reports. The good news is that this work you have to do to make Urangi ready for a given software and database, we made it for Koha. So I will show you some dashboard and reports we already made with Koha. and explain you some concepts and show you how easy it is to build a report and to build a dashboard. So the first thing is Urangi is the data source. The data source is the way to explain Urangi to connect to a MySQL server, or it can also be an Oracle server or some other. That's pretty easy. You just have to explain what kind of connection it is, and where is the server, and which is the database, and the name of and the username and the password to be able to connect to the database. That's it for the data source. The most important thing is the layer. The layer is what is doing the link between the technical view on the database and the end user view. The idea behind Urangi is that once the layer is done, any kind of user should be able to do to prepare a report or a dashboard without entering any technical thing like an SQL query or something like that. Okay, so here I enter. I will just give you a brief overview of creating layers because the main goal of my presentation is to show you how to create a report and how to create a dashboard with layers we already made for Koha. So you see here, we have a layer dedicated to acquisition, one dedicated to catalog, one to circulation, one to holds, one to the deleted part of the catalog, etc., etc. The English here is because I am French, so we also have the French version of those layers. I open the catalog English version of the English version of the catalog layer. You see here a lot of tables with a lot of links and some fields that are green, some fields that are black with that are selected. And here on the left, you can see the description of the different fields you want to put on your layers. Okay, so for example, let's suppose that you need the field coming from the biblio items table, and you need to add to your layers the CN source field. You just go there, click here, and you enter some general information like the label you want to put in front of this field, the type of the field, is it a string or a number or a date or something like that. You can, if it's a date or a number, you can also specify the format of the field, the default format you want. This I move on. Once you have selected the fields you want to put on your layer, you can organize them folders. For example, here you have one folder called work, one folder called manifestation, one folder called item, and a subfolder called circulation information, and one subfolder called collection in the manifestation folder. And you see here that you have a meaningful description of the field, and it is not as a technical description of the field. So the main goal of the layer is to hide for the librarian the technical complexity of the Koha database. Okay, it doesn't matter where this field is hidden within the database. You just put it logically and explain to the within the layer that in the manifestation folder you have those fields, and you have a subfolder, and we have the editor. In fact, if I look at the edits here, you see it is a publisher code field coming from the biblio items table within Koha. But in fact, there is one person who must have technical skills and knows the Koha database schema well. And once the layer is written, and it is written well, most of them are written for Koha. You can use them anywhere, and you don't need any skill, any technical skill. You just use the layer and you just create your report. On some field like the volume year, you see there is a small toolkit tool here. If it means that it is not a field coming directly from the database, it is a field coming from a calculation from within the database. For example, this one is containing an expression that is the year of the biblio item. I can check another one. Okay, for here it is the code number, the cleaned code number. Oh, sorry, there is some French. I forgot to replace here. Okay, so here you have a formula that is coming from the MySQL database, but it's once it is written, you just have a call number cleaned, which is only the first 3 digits of the call number. And as a librarian, you don't care how it is calculated. You just use the field called call number cleaned. Once you have your layer, you can create your reports in a few clicks. So I go to my reports, I create a new report, and here you have the interface for creating a new report. A report, here you have different kind of reports. So the first one is a very standard basic report that is a vertical report. The second one is a report presenting fields one below each other. This one is a calculated report. It's it's a grouped table. I will show you later. This one is to create a graph. This one is to create another graph that will be a donut or pie. This one is to give you just a number, well, or a number or just one result. It is useful to put within a dashboard. And this one, I don't know the term in English. In French, it's a jauge. Yes, it is a jauge. It's a speedometer. Yeah. Okay. So here on the left, you will have to choose which layer you want to work on. So for example, let's say we want to create some reports on the acquisition. Let's say we want to create a report that will be just a list. And here you see the layer, you have the order line informations, the basket informations, the work related to the basket, and another one that I've put here that is the fields slowing the results for the report. So let's say I want to create a report with title and author. I just drag and drop the fields I want to put in the list of fields, and I click on redraw, and a few seconds later I get the results. Here is my first report containing the title and the author without any limit and any filter. Of course, you can put some filter. So it's, you see here, it's on the second line for creating the report. So let's suppose we want to create a report with the title and author, but only for author where the name contains John. It's a French database, so I enter the value in French. Oops, what's happening? Oh, I made something wrong. I think I chose a wrong report. Sorry. Ah, I broke my Firefox. Okay. Sorry, I chose. What's happening? do it again. Sorry.
I'd like to say it was our fault, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
That's the demo effect, of course.
Yeah, Fred is saying
internet connection is unstable. Sorry, I don't understand. Just 1 minute. I will be back in a few seconds.
so far it is, you know, maybe this would be a good time if anybody has any questions, we can figure out a way to, in order to ask questions, people are going to have to come up. Anybody?
Okay, I am back.
Okay.
I feel it's my boys who are back from school and I am at home, and I think they are using internet a little bit too much. So I ask them to stop their computers.
Okay. I think most of us have been there before, so we understand.
Yeah. Okay, so back to create a new report. And let's say an acquisition report. I want, for example, to see which documents I have ordered this year. So, for example, I enter title, author, and in the basket here, you see there is a field called creation year. So, let's say I want to check which I want to list which document I bought this year. So there is nothing in my database from 2019. So I say 2017, and there are results. Okay. So this year I bought Chanson Douce from Leila Slimani, Inhuman from Patricia Cromwell, etc., etc. Okay. So it's a very basic report. You see here there is a third option to drop the ordering keys. So if you want, for example, to sort by author, just add the field here, withdraw, and you get the report author by author, null first, then the brackets, then the A, B, etc., etc. Okay, so in a few clicks, you create your own reports very easily. I will show you now how to create a report that is a graph. Okay, so let's say I want to check how much I spent for a given year, vendor by vendor. So you see here, the difference between here and here is that when you want to create a graph, you have metrics and dimension. So in the metrics, you say, what do you want to calculate? Okay, so I want to calculate, here I have the price. I want to sum the price. I name it total ordered. I want to sum the price. I said I wanted to know the vendor by vendor. So I add as a dimension the vendor name. And I want to know which one I bought this year. So I add the year 2000.
I think we may have lost you there for a second.
And
Are you still there, Paul? I
So-
think I lost you. Oh, and he's gone. But look, there all you all are. So hopefully he'll come back in just a second. Can you hear us, Paul?
But I think it is better if I unmute my own microphone. Right. Do you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
I think we got you back. We lost you there for a moment or two. Maybe.
It's okay. 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 So I got disconnected, but I don't. I hope we can go to the end of this presentation. So here you see I have prepared a report calculating how much I order for each vendor year by year. Okay. You create different kind of graph. So you have the bar, the spline, the area, the line, the spline area, and the scatter. You can also group and accumulate reports. So for example, if I remove this vendor name filter and instead I put the basket year as a second dimension, I will get the result for vendor by vendor and year by year. Just, okay.
So I have a quick question in the middle of this. I see the link there that says View SQL. After you create a report in Urangi, can you then take a look at the SQL and then import it into Koha?
In fact, yes, the SQL is there. Okay.
Okay.
So you can click and click. For reason we had to
I think we're losing. We can still see your video, okay, but we keep losing your audio.
You have my video.
Yes, we can see it just fine. It's the audio that we keep having trouble with here. But yes, we can see, and we can see the SQL now on the screen there. So.
Too bad. Paste it. You would need to do that. I want
Now we've lost you completely again. I don't think he's even there anymore.
I am back again.
There we go. We kept losing your audio. Your video we could see just fine. We just couldn't hear you.
You see, you hear me, right? You hear me?
We've got the screen back, but the audio keeps cutting out again. So.
Let me try. So I will completely plug and replug my.
You're going to disappear again? You're going to disappear again for a minute?
Maybe it will take a few minutes.
Okay. Anybody come up with any questions yet? I haven't used Tableau, so drag and drop to create the reports. Is Tableau? Oh, okay. I haven't used that either. I just you're going SQL. Yeah. Very complicated. As an open source solution, I actually think there's a lot of possibilities here. Okay. Afraid of a direct connection. Okay. How much time have we got? We have plenty of time left. I wish the connection was better because it looks really interesting. So where are you all from?
Is it better now?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You see, I moved from my home fiber connection to my 4G cell phone connection, and it's better.
That's a great sales pitch for your fiber provider. This is we can hear you much better now, so this is perfect.
This is perfect. Okay, so good news. And I am sharing. Okay, you see my screen also?
Yes, we can see your screen and we can hear you great this time.
Perfect. So I was explaining that I have updated my report and I am calculating the total ordered for every vendor year by year. And here you see, you get, for example, ADAV vendor. In 2007, I ordered for 2,500 euros. In 2008, 34 euros, etc., etc. Okay, so you can build your reports in a few clicks, and it is very easy because you know you don't know how the SQL query has to be written. Urangi created for you, and usually it is optimized quite well. Sometimes there are some queries that are not very efficient, but most of the time the SQL is optimized. Sometimes people, when I do a presentation, ask me how does Urangi work? Urangi is creating SQL query, and Urangi is querying your database. Very resource-consuming reports, and if you run them very often, you could slow down your production server. I can show you now how to create a pie report. A pie report is exactly like another kind of report. You just choose the metrics you want to calculate on. So, for example, the total price. I want to see the total price. Sorted, for example, by budget name. Okay, so how much did I spend on a given budget? And of course, it does not work well. I think I should not use this one. I should, for example, do year by year. Okay, so the total price year by year. Okay, and you get a price that is working well. So, for example, 25% of orders have been placed in 2011. Now 18% in 2013, etc., etc. Okay. Once you have a report, you can save it. You can also share a report to make it available for others. You have two options. You can share your report with everyone. It means that anyone who has the link will be able to see the report. It means you don't need any login and password able to see the reports. That's very useful if you want to put a report or a dashboard, because the same feature exists also. How many documents you have checked out this
I think we're losing you again.
So that's authenticate dashboard. It's a pain. Sorry. You hear me?
We can now, yes.
Yes.
There we go. We're back. We got your screen back too.
So I was saying that within Urangi you have users, and you can share with other Urangi users some reports or some dashboard, and that will be limited only to the chosen users. Okay, so you can share with everyone, or you can share only with authenticated users that will be able to see in a shared space. The shared space is a space that is shared between users, and you can also the shared space is a space shared between librarians using Urangi, and you can have a space dedicated to acquisition librarians, and a space dedicated to circulation librarians, for example, or a space dedicated to librarians from library A, and another space dedicated to librarians from library B. You can organize your shared space as you want into folder and subfolders, and you can share a given folder with only some people and not everyone. So regarding the report, that's what I wanted to show you. And the next thing is sharing the dashboard. So the dashboard is a collection of reports placed on a big sheet, let's say like this. And for example, here I will run my patron dashboard. So here is patron dashboard. There is something I completely forgot to say when I was presenting the reports. When you create a filter, you can say that this filter must be filled by the librarian when he's running the report. Okay, so it's a filter that is evaluated at runtime and entered at runtime. Here I have my adhérent, in French is patron, users. So I have my dashboard, tableau de bord is dashboard. I have my dashboard regarding patrons, and here I get by default a dashboard with patron by category, so adults, organization, collectivities, children, librarians. I have a report by age. So 0 to 15 children, 15 to 65, 55 and more, and unknown. I have one by koha statistic code, another koha statistic code, by registration year. So I have here almost 5,000 patrons that have registered since less than 1 year, or 1 year or less. And here by month of registration to the library. And you see here there is a filter, and I can filter at runtime. So by default, this dashboard has been defined to show you everything. If I want to filter just for one library, for example, let's say Vidauban, I select Vidauban, and you see all graph, all reports are recalculated, and the dashboard is updated. I go to Edit Dashboard to show you how it works to create a dashboard. On the left here, you have 3 tabs that are very important and very useful for building your dashboard. The last one, the layout one, is where you can select how your dashboard will be presented. I cancel and I will start a new dashboard. So you will see from scratch how it works. I go to layout, and here let's say at the beginning of my dashboard, I want to say the hello box. Then I want to add a 2 reports line, and I just drag and drop the 4th layout here, and I get 2 empty white places to put 2 reports, one on the left, one on the right. My report left. Other report right. And here I can build my dashboard by, for example, let's say I want to put 4 reports here, etc., etc. And then I go into reports, and here I have 2 options. Either I create a new report that will be available only within this dashboard. And here you see you get the reports interface, and you can create a report. So I want to make a report on circulation, blah, blah, etc., etc. Or you can decide to import an existing report that is already existing. So I click on import report, and here I can choose the report I want to import into my dashboard. So let's say I want to import this one. I get it here, and I just drag and drop this report here, and that's it. I have no results, because if I want to see a result, I have to click on redraw here. And of course, there is a demo effect, or my report doesn't give any results, maybe. Let's say I will import this one and put it here. And I redraw. That's the demo effect. It is supposed to show you a sample of the dashboards when you click on redraw. I don't understand why it does not work. It is expected to work. So let's suppose it works. When you click on a part of the dashboard, whatever the part is, so you click on the title here, or you click on the white box where the reports has been added or will be added, you see here on the left that you have many options to change everything in terms of design. Okay, so for example here, if you don't like this gray background color, you can change it just by choosing a nice red background color. You can also choose an image. Oh, I click here. So you can change the image for the as a background. You can also change the text style. So for example, I want to make it bigger. I want to underline it, and I want to change the color to put some blue. So you have, you can define freely, completely freely your dashboard, and you place pieces, reports, title, subtitle, etc., by using the layouts, and you can define your dashboard as you want. And once you have created, once you are happy with your dashboard, you just save it. Urangi is asking you the name of your dashboard. And it is saved. Okay, the dashboard is here. When you run it, that's a completely new feature that is not available on the demo site for now. You can export it as PDF or as an image, a PNG, and probably in the next 3 months, you will be able also to ask Urangi to send you this PDF for example, every week. On Monday, you want to have your weekly dashboard of the activity of the library. That's a feature we are working on. It should be available in the next 2 or 3 or maybe 6 months, but I think it will be in the next 3 months.
You've got just a little less than 10 minutes left. I thought I'd warn you.
Yeah, I know. I made most of my presentation regarding creating a report, creating a dashboard. I just wanted to highlight the export-import feature, because I think for a group like koha-US or for the Koha community, it is something very important. By using export or by using import, you can export or import layers, reports, dashboard. Okay, so you can very easily share dashboard. Let's suppose in France we create a dashboard that is very interesting for universities. We can export it and share it between all the French universities. I don't know if it's the case in the US or maybe it's in each US state, but here in France, each public library and each academic library has some dashboards they must send to the ministry every year. So that's the name of, you see, DLL, 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 DLL. That's the public library ministry report. So every public library in France that is using Koha and Urangi, they will get those dashboards, and they will be able to run and create their DLL report, their yearly DLL report, very, very easily and very efficiently. How does it work? When you export, you select which, for example, which dashboard I want to export. If I want to export dashboard for koha-US, I just tick here, and I click on export, and I will get a JSON file that I can send by email or whatever, and someone else can import it. And what is great with export-import is that if you update your dashboard, you export it and you send it to someone else who uses it, Urangi will recognize that it is the same exported, imported dashboard, and you will update it anywhere. In the long term, I plan to use Mana to share dashboard and reports. If you don't know what is Mana, just ask someone who knows.
I think somebody's going to be talking about Mana
later.
Possibly on Thursday or Friday, or Friday or Saturday, maybe. I'm not sure, but I think it's a topic on one of the sessions.
Okay, so it's something I plan to share on Mana sooner or later. It depends on other feature and priorities and etc. Okay.
We did have a couple of questions, and I think
Yeah.
you've already answered one about whether this accesses the database live, or that he answered your question, Ed. So there was a discussion. This is similar to products that people had mentioned that were not open source, but one of them at least does like a backup of the data and runs the reports based on the backup. But this is running the report on the live server, right?
That's what we are implementing for our customer. We are doing a dump and re-import on a specific server dedicated to statistics. In the long term, well, not, I have plenty of ideas of feature to add to Urangi and implement within Urangi. So I think I should not start giving you all the ideas I have. Just what I can say is that everything is on GitHub. So if you go GitHub, biblib Urangi, you will see everything, and you see there are 43 issues, and most of them are not bugs. That's ideas I'd like to implement in the future.
Okay. Did you have another question, Ed? Ed's going to come up to the microphone here.
I had one other question for you. What are the export possibilities for a report? Say you've run the report and you need to get it to somebody. What are will it export, say to CSV or PDF or something like that?
Yeah.
Not just the dashboard.
In fact, there are two export features. The import and export feature here is not to export and import the result of a dashboard, or a report. It is to export or import the structure of a dashboard. Your question is related to running a dashboard and sending it to someone, right?
Yeah, running a report and sending it to someone.
Yeah. Okay. So here you go there, you run a report, you get a report, and here you can export as a PDF. And once you have the PDF, you can send it by email or print it or do what you want with the PDF. And the feature we will work on in the next month is like in the report section of Koha, let's schedule an export. No, let's schedule a dashboard or a report and say every Monday or every month or every day, send to this email, run this dashboard or report and send it to this email.
Cool. I think Ed gave a thumbs up. He walked away from the microphone, but he likes your answer.
Okay. Another question?
Are there any other questions? I just wanted to say thanks. We really appreciate your taking the time to do this for us. And I'm sorry that there were connection issues.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry too.
But we're very happy to see you, and we appreciate that you did this for us. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I'd like to come to Kansas, but it was a little bit far.
Well, we're in Pueblo, Colorado, actually today. So
so because I saw it's northeastern Kansas system, so I thought you were in Kansas. No.
Koha-US is using the Northeast Kansas Library System Zoom account.
Okay. Okay, but even Colorado, it is far.
That's next year. We have the budget to get our own Zoom account. This year, we're still. This room of the conference is stealing from Kansas. The other room is stealing from Idaho.
Okay. So, thank you and have a nice conference.
Thanks, and will you be in Wellington next year?
Maybe. I was in Wellington in 2010, so maybe I will let someone else from Biblib go there. But it's for us, it's exactly the opposite side of the world. Exactly. So it's very, very far. 34 hours of traveling.
Wow.
So maybe I will come, maybe I will not. I don't know yet.
I'm hoping to go, so if you're there, I'll see you there.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
And how do we?
I think
I
if
don't
you
know.
stop sharing your screen,
Yeah.
yeah, now you're connected too well.
Okay. No, share my screen.
Bottom right, leave meeting. There we go.
Leave meeting. Okay. Bye bye.